where we will see Fusion University square off against Bi-Week in our second series of the night.
Okay, so they're actually not running Carbon this time around. Minish is coming in. We didn't get to see him last week. And so Shirshoi and Waifu will be on the tank duty, but this is a different look. Reinhardt on, of course, Shrine. We haven't seen that often.
Well, you're also running Doomfist v Sombra. Now, Zachary does get chunked really early on, and, well, Doomfist is going to be the first one to fall. I don't think I'm really on board the Doomfist decision here, especially against the Sombra pick. Maybe he'll swap off, maybe it was just for an early setup, or maybe they picked a Doomfist main. Who knows? Left is going to get hacked in the back. And actually, able to stay alive. Ult gets caught out early on in the situation. Bi-Week surprisingly pushing Fusion University back as Shirshoi swings the hammer, and surprises abound. Bi-Week gets first control.
Yeah, don't play it as a tank, just play it as DPS. But, ooh, Minish went way too far there. And so Fusion University, they're going to be able to push up now. They don't have Shirshoi, they don't have Minish on the side of Bi-Week here. This is shaky at best.
Well, to be clear, you won the fight and you just go so far that you stagger two people. Now you go, we won this fight, what can we do? Throw the next fight. That's what they did in this situation. And now you have a hacked Doomfist in the back, know where he can go, who are you at the cleanup? And they had Fusion University on the ropes, they backed them off, and then they went too far deep and just ended up giving it right back.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been up to 50% for Bi-Week there, but not having two of your members out of commission because, well, they went too far. Definitely does not work out for you. Now Fusion University, they're in the power seat. They've got the Transcendence along with the Primal Rage and that Self-Destruct. And Alarm, this is what we were talking about. We're looking towards him as that flex support. They just start off these fights and just stagger Bi-Week.
Alarm through the right door. Who are you on the left? Fusion University covering all their angles right now. Alarm charging up shots. Lands some nice damage there. Yeah, exactly. And Fusion University, they have all the tools to dive in. They get Del immediately. And here's the thing, because they got him quickly, they don't have to burn more. Beast Halo is able to get out, didn't have to use Primal Rage. Who are you just assaulting the back line right now? They lose crack locking though, so now you're probably gonna see how Alarm use the Transcendence here. It's a little bit more even. They're gonna barrier first, so they invest one support ult. Maybe they end up dropping the Transcendence as well. Fusion has lost more than I think they care to in the situation, but Minish popped in the back. The Doomfist pick right now not doing too much, and Alarm just wants to be sure.
Yeah, he Transcendences in, is able to top off Zachary back into this fight. Sound Barrier now out for Bi-Week, so they are throwing a lot into this fight, but Shirshoi has fallen, and that should just be the retreat coming up from Bi-Week.
I'm just thoroughly perplexed at this high degree of just insistence on running the Doomfist here, where almost every fight, Minish is going really far out, and Zachary's just going, yeah, I'm gonna hack you. It's like putting your password on the internet. Why do you do this?
Yeah, right now, everyone on Bi-Week struggling just a little bit. Shirshoi possibly performing the best so far on this Reinhardt, but even Lefa is having difficulty trying to deal with Alarm, and that's what we're talking about. Just a Zenyatta that can keep himself alive. Now we do have the EMP over the top. They've got the follow-up damage. Pizza Demon is gone. Beast Halo will take out Shirshoi, and with that, with 3 members gone, Bi-Week are going to try their best to stall this out, but it's already overtime ticking away.
Overtime in progress, and Fusion University does not need much more. Everything going their way after a little bit of a shaky start, and I mean, I just wonder, are we gonna see more Doomfist on the next map? Because look, if Doomfist is gonna work, Doomfist works in 2 ways. That you have really nice engages where you get an early pickoff and use it more on the defense where you kind of catch teams off guard that way. Neither was happening there, and again, I'm not sure how many identity theft jokes I can move in here, but Zachary had the easiest time of his life. It's as if he called Minish and said, hello, I'm here with the government. What is your social security number?
Yeah, we definitely don't get to see as much Doomfist, and especially into the face of a Sombra. That's a difficult task, but also when we did get to see Doomfist, it was with, of course, the traditional tank line where you just go dive and you just kind of swap out the Doomfist for the Genji. The Winston and the D.Va, they have a lot of chip damage, but the front-loaded damage of the Doomfist allows those tanks to come in and finish them off, but Minish hasn't been able to even stay alive to do that.
He can't even use his abilities half the time. He's getting focused in the back. And so are you laying in the damage, both the tanks and Doomfist. And look, Waifu's so far deep, he was trying to support Minish. And look, to his credit, Minish does punch Beast Halo in the face. Both tanks for Fusion University are gone. And in fact, this crazy dive where Shirshoi has no back button works out. They catch Fusion University off guard in the beginning. but how will they adapt?
Yeah, it looked like FU kind of just underestimated the tankiness of a Doomfist who's connecting with his skills onto multiple targets. Now remember, the more targets you hit up to a cap, the more shields you get, and so it took them longer than they actually anticipated to try and focus him down. Shearshoy just dives right on in with the charge and starts swinging on them.
Get on the point. Who are you? Has gotten already half here. He's pulled the entire tank line back, and meanwhile, Minish got popped. Minish was trying to go in for Alarm. Alarm just easily removes him from the fight. They've lost Who Are You, so this is still winnable for bye week in this situation. But Alarm, he is a DPS, gets away from the Earth Shatter. But is not able to transcend the time. Don't know if he really should have there either way. And Fusion University, in large part because of Shearshoy, will get thrown back just a bit.
Yep, just a bit here. We do have the respawns coming in for bye week now. They've already secured 40% onto the point. Minish just falling back. He is not going to go aggressive until he has his Bash brother in Shearshoy with him now. The point was actually being pressured just a bit by Who Are You now, but Fusion University, they're starting to make their way on in. Leffa's gotten hacked. Leffa
gets hacked here early on, and again, that was not an EMP, that was Zachary doing a raw hack. Now he has an EMP up for the next part. Elk is out of the fight. A little bit of Doomfist versus D.Va action here in the back. Is he gonna get the D-Mech? Not quite. Has to go for the Meteor Strike. Meanwhile, Who Are You is just decimating the backline in action. There's the EMP. There will be no Colossus this time. Save your energy beams. You're out of key.
Now out of mech is Waifu, who's gonna get cleaned up here. Just the last staggers coming out from bye week here, as Leffa does fall. And so bye week, you know, damage done, 78% on the board for them. They've only got the Coalescence. Sound Barrier coming up soon out from Dell, and luckily for him, he doesn't have to worry so much about an EMP now. Zachary only at 14%.
Elk just gets to sit here on the Sound Barrier on the other side, Fusion University guarding doors, and it's going to be a lot harder for Minish. It's easier to get good plays with Doomfist when you're on the defense, harder on the attack. They dive in, and look at the focus fire on Waifu, immediately taken down, and you see the barrier come in, but it's too late to save the D-Mech. Now, however, they got both supports in the backline for Fusion. They're still making this work off the engage, and they caught Fusion off guard.
Yep, Transcendence and Coalescence and Sound Barrier was just too much for Fusion University to try and punch through there. Saw Shearshoy, ultimate loss for bye week now. Who Are You jumping on in, instantly forced a recall as he saw all the members of bye week out there. Instead, he's gonna go with Zachary to move on. Ooh, Earth Shatter onto Elk, and he is instantly taken out by his counterpart.
Reinhardt said drop the beat, and he wasn't kidding. Brings Lucio down and says, why is there no music? Well, because that's not quite how it works, right?
The day the music died, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Fusion University in overtime. Last opportunity is Who Are You gets punched in the jaw. Minish having more success with Doomfist towards the end of this map. He's Halo out of it. And Zachary gonna buy some time. In the prayer circle with Zenyatta, feeding off the Transcendence. Gotta drop the EMP and can't! Gets knocked in the face with pure waves of sound. And Fusion University actually going to drop this round. And one thing I will note is that the Doomfist did work out better here in Village, and part of it is just you're dealing with a more closed-in area, more areas to catch things off guard, and you can kind of rely on that to a degree in Sanctum coming up, but it does make you more vulnerable to splash, especially if Fusion University, say, comes out with the Junkrat or something along those lines.
Yeah, so we'll see. Looks like bye week, you know, they're going to live or die by that Doomfist. Like you had mentioned, yeah, the corridors are much tighter here. It's all indoors. The walls, you get that extra damage when you go for that rocket punch and knock someone up against it. Leffa possibly swapping over to the Widowmaker, so we'll see. Now, one of the things I really do want to note is that Shearshoy has been doing a lot of work on this Reinhardt, and it doesn't look like he has a shield button at all. It might have just unbound it.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need the shield. Sometimes you just need to roll in and swing the hammer. It's the good old Fraggy school of Reinhardt to a degree, at least old school Fraggy. Fraggy is far more well-rounded nowadays. Fusion University, though, looking for their way in. No longer running the Sombra, just going to be far more aggressive dive. Still have to worry about the Doomfist. As Minish is somewhat of a free spirit here in this fight. And Who Are You goes too deep. Caught by Pizza Demon in the end. Just a turnabout onto him. This puts a lot more pressure on Zachary, but with Elk freelancing as Lucio here, Zachary has an opportunity in the back. Minish struck down by Alarm at the same time. And Fusion can still win this fight as Alarm says, oh, we're down to DPS. How cute.
Yeah, they went on a really long flanking route. Did both support, but Shearshoy, oh boy, he's just a homing missile on the supports. Now pulse bomb out from Zachary here. Now the point has unlocked, but neither side has quite yet taking it, but it looks like slowly but surely Fusion are trying to eke this up, but Leffa comes back with some great picks.
Byweek has more people on the point right now. That's the key, is that as it was going on, it's not enough. Leffa under pressure from Zachary, able to shake the pressure in the moment. Going into the next fight, Byweek could actually take this right now. They have the Coalescence up. Granted, a Transcendence is up in turn. It's going to be down to how Fusion decides to engage this. Leffa looking for pickoffs, waiting for the Transcendence, and they open with the Transcend early, even as Minish dives on in. Shearshoy, Earth Shatter up, looking to drop the hammer. Beast Halo in his sights. His waifu already out of it, drops the hammer, knocks out Who Are You, and is the follow-through going to be there? They got Who Are You, but that might be it as Minish gets 2. Minish hits him with 3. It's a turnaround for him. What a change from the beginning of the map.
Yeah, just taking the fight there, that forces them to funnel into the point, and that allows Leffa to just come in and just tag them all with this Widowmaker. I mean, he has all the space to work with right now just because they are brawling right out basically the spawn doors. So Fusion University, Who Are You, tries to apply some pressure onto the point, but he gets his life forward, and it's once again Leffa, no pressure applied to him whatsoever.
Who Are You is getting picked off early in a lot of these fights, more so than I'd ever expect. It's been just fall to
nice.
No, he's fine, he's fine. The angle was very ambiguous there. It's like, wait, but he did run into the gaping maw of Zachary there, as Zachary eats him up on the side, gets Leffa for good measure. Zachary regulating the corners. Here comes Who Are You with the blade, looking to clean the rest of this up because they badly need to swap the sword. You don't want to be brawling this out, and Who Are You gets nothing again. Oh my word, this has been quite bad for Who Are You the last few times, and Byweek keeping it in there as Cracklocking goes for the resets.
Yep, they're just gonna go full-on reset. Fusion University have no clue how to deal with this right now. Shearshoy has been swinging on them left and right. Pizza Demon, along with Dell, have just been sitting right on top of him, making sure he cannot die. And so now Fusion University, it's come down to this final push, man.
It's coming down to a final push. And it's weird because they should have won the last fight. Minish caught off guard early in this fight, so they get the early pickup they're looking for. Waifu's gonna get demacked. Who Are You? On a little bit more of a revenge tour this time around. Leffa dealing damage in the back was uncontested up till that last moment. Fusion University gonna retake the point, and now they have no room for error.
No room for error whatsoever. 99 to 3% ticking up for Fusion University here. Really, it could just come down to Minish just landing one good rocket punch onto Who Are You, or even Alarm. We'll see. They need to keep Alarm safe here because he is the one closer to the support ultimate right now. He's at 60%, and the way he's been fragging, he can build it up quickly.
Minish on the side. Not really, this is freelancing and then some, but yeah, Sombra out of nowhere. Beast Halo gonna finish it off. You lose your Doomfist, but you drew off 2 people. The rest of Byweek's coming up the front. Gives Shearshoy time to swing the hammer, but Fusion University aware. Able to disengage to a degree. They don't get caught off guard. And now Byweek working at a man disadvantage on the side. And Fusion University still not really taking the fight, so I'm going, no, you gotta touch the point.
Well, now Byweek rotates their way on in, and Minish once again is caught out in that same angle. Byweek are on the point right now, almost 75% towards capping, but still Shearshoy finally, with that Fire Strike, takes out Zachary. He's forced back into the cubby, though. There's the Coalescence to keep everyone topped off.
It's a laser firing out of a cubby hole right now, keeping Shearshoy alive. Earth Shatter up, ready, drops it into just a Diva. The Winston Bubble gonna be preventing the worst of it. As Alarm takes down 2! Sound the alarm if there ever was a time. And every time Fusion needs an injection of DPS, it's Alarm in the back, grabs another.
Yeah, grabs another, but more importantly right now, Byweek, throughout that time, they were able to force them off the point. And so, 99% still as it flips back over to Fusion University. Byweek by themselves even more time now, but it might come down to just this final fight here, as Zachary, he will have the EMP. That's what they're gonna need to try and close this out.
Zachary, it's 70% to 99. You have one mission given to you by your team, given to you by any higher authority you believe. Don't get picked off early. That's all you have to do. Drops the EMP, does not get picked off early, and sets up his team beautifully. Mission accomplished. Did not end up throwing.
We'll see how long it takes them to reset here, because this is going to come down to the wire. Remember, it's 1-to-1 map point here between Fusion University and Byweek. Byweek was on the cusp of taking their first map of Contenders.
Dangerous here from Fusion University. They don't want them to touch a point again. They're overextending really hard to try and stop this overtime fight. Shearshoy knocked off, and Fusion's Gambit works, but that was almost Byweek's first map win, because Doomfist worked better than expected after the first round.
I'm just saying, go bye week. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Why would you do this to them? Why do you do that to them?
You did. Well, you guys have been talking that like noise this whole time. So I already tweeted at them. They saw it and they retweeted it.
Oh, you tweeted at them too?
I tweeted. I was like,
boy.
you guys are crushing.
Game over. Game
We're
over.
doing this off objective data.
Look,
we have every reason.
I need to explain something to you, okay? First off, okay, so I'm a martial artist, in case you didn't know this. I'm new here. Hello, hi, I'm a martial artist. There is an unspoken rule in martial arts. The people who will screw up a black belt the most are the white belts, because white belt is crazy and they do stuff you don't expect, like Minish coming in and wrecking people's lives.
Well, speaking of fighting, that's also a thing in the fighting game community where there have been moments where people have been knocked out into loser's bracket by a dude who's just like using Shoryuken every other time, and it shouldn't be. Like, there's one particularly famous clip. It's just like you're just conditioned to dealing with a player that's playing a higher level. It's just like he's not gonna Shoryuken for the 4th time off wake up. Oh my God, he did.
All right, we've got some awesome replay footage. It's from Alarm, who deserves it because he was crushing it with Zenyatta.
I mean, he was keeping Leffa in check. Leffa was having difficulty dealing with it. There was at one point where Leffa, his entire goal was to try and take out Alarm. I believe it was on Shrine, but that fight took so long that the Tracer, his Tracer, was able to make it back and help him win that fight. But like, you should not be taking that duel as a Tracer if you can't finish off the Zenyatta early on.
One thing that was really striking to me about this is that Fusion University played about exactly as we expected to them back on round 1, where they were very disciplined. They weren't giving up early deaths. Then you go into round 2, and Who Are You was being like super aggressive, more so than usual. I don't know if it was taking things a little bit lightly, but it was actually a very rough round 2 and beginning of round 3 for him. It was when we saw Who Are You sort of rein things in a bit, clean up his gameplay, that things went a little bit better for Fusion University. And I mean, take what you pick there. The Doomfist got more than expecting. Fusion University let their foot off the gas a little bit, but came dangerously close to giving bye week a map.
Yeah, and
First map.
we have some footage. Who Are You did an excellent job, but a lot of it was due, in fact, to Tracer, or to Zachary, sorry. So we have this kind of great synergy between these two players, as you can see in this replay. I mean, that is something that comes from practicing together repeatedly and knowing one another's play styles.
I mean, Zachary was just setting them up for a success. I mean, we saw there on Shrine, and then we got to see when we got over to Sanctum that the EMPs were actually pretty crucial in closing out these fights, especially that last one on Sanctum where he was just lurking in the corner. You saw Shirsoi, he's checking his corners, he's doing his due diligence, but she's stealth. And so they all just run past without even knowing that the Sombre's right behind them. He gets a perfect EMP off on them.
One thing I'll say is this is sort of a challenge of bye week is that, look, you kind of got in here to a degree off gimmicks with Quad Tank, and now to say I challenge you here is that, you know, no matter what, you're going to have to fight your way through trials again. Stay true to the course. Continue running Doomfist. Please. For better or for worse. Like, it's now a sentence that low. First, like, okay, swap off's not working. It's like, no. You ran Doomfist an entire control map. Stay the course. All
right, well, we are heading to Hollywood. This one has a lot. This is a cool map because there's a lot of different play styles that can happen throughout it. From beginning to end, you have a lot of verticality. You've got a lot of close quarters. What do you see each team pulling out for this one?
I mean, with bye week, it's clearly unpredictable, but I am going to be going on Team Doomfist. Not because I think it's the right option, but because it is the option that most reflects the state of their soul right now. It's just, we're in chaos. We're trying anything to win. Let's run the hero no one else runs. Doomfist.
I'm not against it. I mean, when I was doing the OPC or OWPS, working the Chinese teams actually ran Doomfist to a great effect. It was the Doomfist McCree along with Mercy meta over there. And so I do like seeing Doomfist. I do want to see more teams actually experimenting with it. I mean, we get to see over in the OWL, Hydration uses it to some decent effect. And so I want to see teams explore this. And why not? Especially in this kind of arena where you know that as bye week, you're going to get relegated more than likely down to Contenders trials. Start trying to explore before you get into the hot seat.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, it's supposed to get into a degree shocking teams with Quad Tank. The problem is, yeah, you've shown your hand. Like, you've run Doomfist the entire time. I was like, wait. What if they run Doomfist in every map and every situation, regardless of if it makes sense?
Well, one of the things that we had talked about with bye week is that a lot of these teams, I mean, and we're kind of forgetting about it because Contenders is so high stakes. All of these teams are there. These players and these teams are trying to feed into the Overwatch League. But at its core, the Contenders is a learning experience. And if this has shown anything, bye week has made leaps and bounds. They really have improved. Bringing Minish on, I feel like they've made a strong choice in that. And the fact that they are running, like you said, Doomfist, this is not a hero that we've seen a lot in this series or in this this season. So when we do see it, how much experience do the teams that these guys are playing against really have defending against a Doomfist?
I mean, you don't see that much often, but I would definitely hold off on saying that they've greatly improved. I mean, it's what they caught Fusion University off guard. Like, they've changed.
Yeah.
They've changed. They've definitely changed, but it's still, you have to play a full Overwatch round. You have to beat the other team. We have to figure out if Fusion is trying to get over their entire thing of like 5 maps no matter what. I mean, which would have been my tagline there. It's just like when you're committed to going to a 5th map. But I mean, look, bye week still has all sorts of issues. We'll see how Hollywood goes, but.
Where have the improvements that you guys have seen the most in bye week?
Shearshoy. I mean, like, he's just, he's not playing passive anymore. He's just going full-out aggressive Reinhardt, and it works out for them because he's getting these Earth Shatters. Now, one of them did go into a shield, and he only got the Diva with it. But for the most part, like, he landed some clutch ones. We saw one on Village where it got the Lucio down. Dell was able to follow up. And so Shearshoy opening up and not playing so passive has really allowed them to play a much better Overwatch game.
All right, well, keep it up, guys. I'm rooting for you. Go bye week. Here we go. Heading into the game, taking it to Hollywood. Bye week, Fusion University. Rude. Fusion University. This is map 2.
Okay. You know what? I respect this. Doomfist your way. Victory or death.
I mean, at this point, you just have to go full Doomfist here. It's going to be triple tank out of bye week on the offense. Shearshoy, once again, on the Reinhardt. And you know what? This is going to work out great because he's playing aggressively. They've got Dell on the Lucio. They're going to speed boost right into Cafe. We'll see if Fusion University are going to be okay with this. The tempo of this kind of game plan, it can be difficult to deal with when you're running a dive composition.
There's no brakes on this train, Jamerson.
Nope.
One way or another, someone will get punched in the face.
I mean, you saw Shearshoy, as he was like rounding the corner, he's still swinging. Like, he's hoping that he catches out someone. Oh, Minish, if he was able to get that rising uppercut, might have gotten the kill, but instead he puts himself out of position. He
just mistimed the floating Zenyatta just a little bit, and with 2 people down already, the cleanup is going to be rather easy indeed for Fusion and the end.
And Shearshoy, uncharacteristically, only at 30% towards his ultimate. Actually gets it at to 40, swinging on that Winston here. Ooh, they got to be careful, though, on the retreat. Might get staggered out, but it's Fusion University he draw back.
All right, bye week, going to be taking another shot at this here in just a second. The problem is that Fusion University very close to getting some very key ultimates, where Transcendence on one end and EMP on the other. It doesn't matter when you have a goal in life and a fist. We're going to dive on in. Dell, though, falling Amia's Who Are You? Explodes into the back. Minish falling as he was chasing down Elk. No one getting punched here just yet. And that's a clean hold by Fusion.
This could have been a good push from bye week if they had just opened it up with the Coalescence, give Fusion, you know, some alarm to back away and allow Shearshoy to just swing with the hammer, get the Earth Shatter off now. And so now it's down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So luckily, you know, bye week, they're taking these fights and these engagements so quickly that they're getting more and more opportunities, at least. They're maximizing their chances here, but great hack off onto Waifu. He has the hide behind, and you see the dive coming up.
We're all in. Are they going to go in? Nope, Zachary decides, no, wait till they move out. No courage to dive into the maw of 5 heroes and just drop the EMP. We said, we see bye week. They enter the cafe from the back. That is a restricted area, employees only. And the Earth Shatter from Shearshoy. Zachary just barely able to get out of it. It's enough to deal with Who Are You? Zachary gets hooked. There will be no EMP. Fusion University. Suddenly, they have to use both support LT to try and stay alive. There is the barrier, and Alarm gonna have to transcend in just a second here to keep this in contest. The Transcendence comes in, and yet they've opened the door here the bye week to do more work. Shearshoy diving into the cafe. Can't shield himself on all ends. Finish to the back, taken down, and Fusion University, oh my goodness, they might not even give up a tick here.
Yeah, very nearly. They almost gave up the tick, but they have not, and so bye week, I'm sorry. You guys are gonna have to reset. Lefa will fall. And that was just Fusion University, like, understanding their limits, even though they had 4 people. The sound barrier came out from Elk, and then Alarm had the patience. He waited until he was about 20 HP to use that Transcendence to extend it even further.
Can I note that that was literally about like 32.9 there? That was just so off of a tick. The entire bar was full. Oh, goodness. Well, bye week gonna be coming back in, and Minish is off the Doomfist. He's in the other part of the McFist combo. McCree
Yeah, the McCree on the high ground, already forced off by the leaping Winston. It's Alarm once again, starting it off. He's able to take out Leffa, and Leffa is having so much difficulty trying to get into the back line because he has to deal with so many different threats, most notably Alarm.
And Fusion right now, they're just holding firm and then some. They have the Transcendence in the back. Minish getting dove on very low here. Gonna survive, gets healed up in the moment. As Leffa taken down, gets on the wrong end of the Angry Scientist. Bi-Week now working 5 on 6. Minish looking for anything here. Can't punch people anymore as Zachary turns off the lights from above. And speaking of, there's the bomb. Crack takes down 3. Oh my word, just when you think it's bad, your iPhone doesn't work and then you get exploded.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful setup. Now Waifu will answer back. Zachary goes down, but still they are just trying their best to get onto the point. Overtime ticking away. Here is Leffa once again. Earth Shatter doesn't connect onto Who Are You? It was just at the end of it. Pulse Bomb to finish off Sheershoy, and even though they have their supports here, they have no one to support as it's just the Lucio along with the Moira.
It's all down to this. They're not able to touch the point even once more, but I will say that limo's gonna have a hard time moving. That Earth Shatter completely cracked the pavement. Hover car, no, it's not a good ride.
Not a good ride indeed, and so it's Bi-Week. Just on a roller coaster of emotions here. They were so close to almost taking that out, but Fusion University, you know,
yes.
it's just... Are we gonna see it again?
No,
yeah?
no, okay.
Okay.
Bring me back, Bi-Week. Be my own personal time machine. Use a Symmetra. Minish. It is in your... No. Not Hog. You need to go back and spawn, reevaluate your life decisions, realize you need to be logical. Bring out Symmetra. I'm sad.
Yeah, so it's going to be triple tank once again for the defensive setup for Bi-Week, as it looks like. Now they do have the Hog, of course, Waifu on the Orisa, so double main tank. We don't really see that often, but, you know, Sheershoy, I'm not going to say he's a main tank. He's a DPS at this point with his Reinhardt. Just let him go swinging. We'll see if he's able to swing it out of the park now, or hit it out of the park. Now, Fusion University, they're probably just going to go with Dive with, of course, Zachary. He's been playing a lot of the Sombra throughout this series. We're only in the second map, but, I mean, he's been doing a great job. His EMPs, his hacks, he's been really keeping Leffa in check with it. That's why Leffa has been having a very difficult job on the Tracer.
So I want the record to state that Reinhardt ordered a triple mocha latte from the cafe just a moment ago. He's feeling more alive than he did back when he had his second eye. That's what he's in right now. Power caffeine in the future.
So, Fusion University trying to put a stop to that caffeine train. They're trying to get their second map win. They want to actually take a series in 4 or a series in 3 without going 5 maps. We'll see how successful they are now as the gates unlock.
Alarm, I am disappointed. But you don't want to mess around here to a degree. I mean, yes, you have a huge edge, but at the end of it, still treat it seriously, get this third tick. Fusion University not going to be waiting too long. They now realize that Torbjorn is in play, but I don't expect them to wait too long. They're already going in pretty heavily. The hook is down. This is a great opportunity to go in even deeper. It's going to be another 5 seconds of freedom before hook is in play. Fusion University going to move in. They get control of the cafe. They're going to be taking high ground away from Bi-Week here. Sheershoy still fairly low in ult percentage. Goes into the cafe swinging, ends up finding everyone has just gone out of the way. Leffa down. Who Are You in the back? A great position to start laying in. Oh, unless he gets killed. Then it's not so great anymore. Bi-Week dives into that back alley and will defend here, but they almost gave up the point.
Oh, Elk almost backdooring that. Maybe if Zachary was on there with him, they could have actually gone. They were so close there. Take a look. That was not as close as Bi-Week came to actually getting that tick, but definitely leaving you on the edge of your seat. But take a look, Zachary, he's got the EMP. This is going to be great to try and shut down, of course, Dell.
Oh, the fight is in progress. Who Are You now on the Genji? Early EMP coming out. Zachary gets bobbed on the long end of the hammer. Dell, though, out of the fight. Beast Halo gets it back, and part of the lifeline is down. Earth Shatter, though, gonna connect from Sheershoy, and that's enough cleanup. Bi-Week. Sheershoy doing a little bit of squats on the payload.
Yeah, I mean, he has been doing some heavy lifting so far this series. His Earth Shatters have been pretty on point now, but it is off the field. Dell, though, because he went down because of the EMP, did not use that Molten Core. This is critical mass for a Torbjorn setup. He wants to be in this power position. He's got the Orisa shield, he's got the Rhine shield, he's got the Molten Core. This is going to be so difficult for Fusion to break.
Oh, the turret got
hacked!
hacked!
Run for them.
Turret hacked in the back, of course. I think Dell is just going to use Molten Core here in a second after it is back off of that. Hopefully defend his turret in the moment. Here's the dive coming in. Molten Core going to be used in reaction. Beast Halo got a Primal Rage early, and meanwhile, Shearshoy is a little bit too far out. Picked off, Crack-Lack, and making the Devo work. Beast Halo disrupting all the while. Is he gonna get Leffa? He does. Stomps right on top of him. And Fusion University will not be denied. Torbjorn or no. They're up now 2-0 here in the series.
What kind of happened there? We saw Shearshoy setting up quite a bit of good play, and I mean, like you said, with his hammer just kind of laying into people. What happened with the actual grouping? Because it feels like a lot of people were out of position.
No, I wouldn't say they were out of position. It was just a great dive coming out from Fusion University because Dell being on the Torbjorn, that leaves a solo support in the Ana, and the only thing she can rely on to try and keep herself healed is, of course, that biotic nade. Now, she does connect with it, but the dive continues. They get rid of her, and then from there, everything falls because they have no more sustain.
Also, I mean, end of the day, Torbjorn just is not that strong of a pick there. I mean, what you saw there was kind of the default, like, sort of pub cheese you would get, you know, between, like, 3,500 and 4K, and Lyra was like, all right, we're going to double shield Torb and hope that the other team, like, doesn't have a proper composition and just feeds against it. It's pretty rare for that sort of composition to get a full hold against a team that knows what they're doing, much less preventing them from one tick. And it was sort of a thing where Philly just had to throw reps on the point, and eventually they were probably going to get it.
Can I ask a noob question? All of them? No. Why don't you see more Bastion in play in Contenders? Like, I feel like you don't see him in defense very often.
Well, right now the meta and heavy part is used a lot of dive, and one thing that is pretty difficult to deal with is that if people are looking to dive in your face and use abilities like Defensive Matrix that can stop you from shooting, it's kind of rough if you're stuck in a solidified position. Like, one of the reasons why you actually see Bastion used more, for example, even though it's kind of fallen out of favor, you used to see it on Junkertown more often. Well, that's part because you can set him up on the payload, and it's sort of, you get a little movement there to begin with, even though even that is still very diveable.
Yeah, I mean, he's also fallen out of favor on Junkertown, like you had mentioned, because, well, ultimately, at the end of the day, dive's really strong, and it beats a lot of things, like almost everything. And also, with the Orisa coming in for the defense on Junkertown, she's able to just halt him out of position, and so you have to reset yourself up. You become more of a liability on that Bastion. Bastion, a lot of times, even though he sees a lot of play on Junkertown, or did see a lot of play on Junkertown, he would also come out in very niche picks like Village. We used to see him coming out on Nepal, where people would just like speed boost him onto like the high ground, and then from there, once he's established and they've actually got the point, it's very difficult to dislodge him even with the dive. But it's just, dive is just way too strong on the onset. Like, you don't have to play this rock, paper, scissors game, right, and hope that you have the right composition. Dive just basically deals with everything.
Well, speaking of dive, we have some awesome footage. This is Who Are You on Tracer.
And who are you? I mean, basic thing here. Wait for team to go in front, go in from the back, drop Pulse Bomb, celebrate, use the control key a few times, whatever you want to do, really.
Yeah, Shearshoy helped out just a little bit there, charged it right into his Moira, that Pulse Bomb. Somehow, that was just on the very edge, the tip of that Earth Shatter that he just missed out and was able to stay alive there.
Yeah, I mean, Who Are You generally saw play. Definitely played Hollywood better than what we saw from rounds 2 and 3 in Nepal, where he seemed a little bit off. And in the end, I mean, bye week is not really challenging Fusion University with compositions you would expect to win in the long term, especially, yeah. I mean, I understand. I think they do have to go with stuff that's a little bit off the wall to have a hope, because Fusion just has more experience with their roster, more mechanical skill, and if you try and beat them strength with strength, it's probably not going to work. But on the same note, running comps like this as your main go-to, also probably not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to try and go toe-to-toe and dive versus dive, especially up against Who Are You and a Tracer like Zachary right now, who's really coming into his own.
All right. Well, we have seen a lot of hammer swinging from Reinhardt, and I imagine that that hammer is quite heavy, and his hands could probably use a workout. Heading to you, Old Spice Hand Gym.